Hello there and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about patch 11.2 Ghosts of Koresh. Yes, patch 11.2 has finally been announced, and in this video we're going to go through all of the major features you can expect from this patch. It is absolutely stacked, but I'm going to try and cover everything that you can expect from the final major patch of The War Within. But before we jump into that, I do want to let you know that I am streaming over on twitch.tv/MrGM. Been streaming a lot of 11.2 PTR stuff as well as some other War Within content. So if you want to check me out, I'm over on twitch.tv/MrGM. Right, so yes, patch 11.2 has officially been announced with a Blizzard Wowcast, a little blue post, and now the PTR has been up, and I've been diving into the PTR and checking out some of the features of this patch, and it seems pretty great. It's a pretty awesome setting with some really great characters and some solid story, and of course, as a major patch, it's just full of tons of other features as well, which we're going to go through in this video, starting with the new zone. Yes, we have a brand new zone in patch 11.2, and this is Koresh. We are going to the Shattered world of Koresh, the home world of the Ethereals and the Brokers, and we're going to be spending a ton of time in this zone. This zone has a 5-chapter campaign, with 4 of which have been tested on the PTR, with obviously the 5th chapter being the post-raid chapter, which won't be tested publicly. The main player hub of this zone is actually Tazavesh, the Veiled Market. Yes, the Brokers have managed to port Tazavesh from the Shadowlands into Koresh. This is going to be one of your main player hubs in the Koresh zone, with most of the things you need from a player hub. Unfortunately, it's not going to be like a city. It doesn't have a bank or auction house or anything like that, but it does have some really cool features, including some portals to Bountiful Delves, which rotate every single day, which are fantastic, so that's going to save a lot of time. The zone does feature your kind of standard stuff. It's full of secrets, side quests, weekly quests, everything you kind of expect from a new zone. If you're wondering where it is on the map, I know I'm going to get that question a ton. It's just on the same map as Khaz-Algar, similar to Undermine, so it's not actually on, like, you know, the main world map. You have to click on the Khaz-Algar bit and then into Koresh. There are a couple of unique systems in this zone, one of them being ecological succession. This system kind of takes you back to the old world and capturing some creatures for the ecodomes around Koresh for the Ethereals and Brokers to study. The one quest that's been available on the PTR is one with bees. So you go back to Stormsong Valley, capture some bees, and try to get them kind of integrated into these ecodomes, which are kind of like, you know, their own sort of thing, similar to what we had back in Burning Crusade, but like a super HD awesome version of that. According to the achievements, there are a ton of different creatures you're going to capture during the system, and it looks pretty cool. It seems like the daily gameplay here is just kind of going in there and maintaining these creatures. So yeah, it's kind of like Farmville, I guess, but yeah, it seems kind of cool. But again, it's only kind of week 1 of the PTR, so we're going to definitely see more of this feature. The other system in this zone is phase diving. So the only kind of way I can describe this is similar to the Rift system in Korthia. Yeah, sorry about mentioning Korthia, but yes, this is similar to that. You kind of jump into a different phase. There are different rares, secrets, treasures, quests, things like that inside this entire different phase of the zone. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's got a ton of rewards as well, which is cool. Kind of a standard zone, has rares, has side quests, all that kind of stuff, and it looks really great. Actually, it's super cool. Like, I love the skybox in the zone as well. I think it's just phenomenal. You just kind of spend your time just looking up at the shattered world of Koresh, which is awesome. But yeah, anyway, another thing coming in 11.2 is a new upgradable artifact, and this is the Reshii Wraps. So this is a new cloak that you obtain around about the 2nd chapter of the zone. Now, things are constantly changing on PTR, so I don't want to get too much into details of how this is upgraded and how you change the stats on it, but as of PTR, it seems like it's just a talent tree sort of thing to upgrade the cloak, and it is account-wide, which is nice. So it's not like, you know, an artifact neck or anything like that where you're getting artifact power or anything. Just seems to be like a weekly upgrade of sorts. To pick the stats on this, as of PTR, you just put a gem inside it, which will give you a certain secondary stat, which is cool. So like if you want crit, you put the crit gem in, and it kind of works like that, and you can switch that out as much as you please. It also has a different chance on hit effect depending on your roles. So you have one for tanks, healers, and DPS. This seems pretty good for the most part. So yeah, we're not going to get any cloaks during 11.2. You're just going to have the Reshii Wraps, and no doubt this will change quite a lot over PTR, but it does seem quite good from the get-go. Another thing you can expect in 11.2 is, of course, a brand new raid. This is Manaforge Omega. This is an 8-boss raid with actually one of the encounters being optional, and this is a group of demon hunters, which is super suspicious, but we're not going to get into that. But yes, this is an 8-boss raid, as you expect, with different kind of voidy encounters, culminating with a fight with Dimensius the All-Devouring, which has been said to be the biggest boss they've ever made, as big as Stormwind. as they say. So we'll have to see what happens there. As you can imagine, with any raid, this has a ton of class tier sets with different bonuses, and just loads and loads of really incredible looking void transmog. So big fan of that. Raid Renown is returning in Manaforge Omega with a new Renown with 15 levels with various different rewards, similar to what we had with the Liberation of Undermine. And of course, we will have some new mounts, including a Glory of the Omega mount being the Umbral Karok mount, which is a new model in Koresh. Ahead of the Curve will reward a mount, as it is the final raid of the expansion, with the Royal Voidwing being the reward from that. And the Mythic mount from Dimensius is the Unbound Star Eater, which is one of maybe my favorite mounts ever, which is super great looking. But as I record this, raid testing will begin very shortly on the PTR, so no doubt we'll see way more of these bosses and encounters and things like that. And of course, Dimensius will not be tested publicly, so we will see how big and powerful he is when the raid launches. Another thing coming in 11.2 is some updates to delves, with a brand new delve called the Archival Assault. So this is actually super interesting because this is based off of the Azure Vaults from Dragonflight. It's not exactly the same as the dungeon, luckily. It is a little bit of a redesign and a kind of its own unique thing, but the entrance to this delve is actually going to be in Koresh. Now, my biggest request here is to also make an entrance in the Dragon Isles. I think that'll be pretty cool, like have two entrances. I think that'll be fun. But yeah, the main entrance to this delve is in Koresh. There are 4 stories attached to this delve, with each of them being super unique and really fun from what I've tested so far. And this actually seems like such a nice change of pace in regards to delves. It feels super different, it feels really nice, and it is really cool to see kind of an older zone being utilized as a delve. The other thing coming with delves in 11.2 is a new delve nemesis, and this is actually going to be Nexus Princess Kaiveza from the Nurubar Palace raid. So yeah, the boss is coming back. We didn't actually defeat her at the end of that raid, and she is going to be kind of our nemesis for Season 3 of The War Within. Also in Koresh, there is a new dungeon, a new kind of regular dungeon, not a mega dungeon. This is called Ecodome Aldani. Actually, canonically, this takes place after the raid story. However, it's not really related to the raid, as the enemies you attack here are more related to the story that you play out in Koresh. This is, of course, located in Koresh, so it's using a lot of that design, and it is really great. It's a 3-boss dungeon, with the final boss being Soul Scribe, and a lot of these encounters are super good. This will be available, of course, in normal, heroic, mythic, and mythic plus, which is a good segue to talk about mythic plus in Season 3. Of course, Season 3 will be coming with 11.2, obviously a week after the patch, and we have a brand new dungeon pool for Season 3. This includes Halls of Atonement from Shadowlands, Tazavesh Streets of Wonder from Shadowlands, Tazavesh Solia's Gambit from Shadowlands. We have from The War Within, Arakara City of Echoes, The Dawnbreaker, Priory of the Sacred Flame, Operation Floodgate, and of course the brand new Ecodome Aldani. So this is a 8-dungeon pool, as we've come to expect. 3 Shadowlands dungeons though, which is kind of interesting that so many Shadowlands dungeons have been used in The War Within. I would have loved to have seen like a Mana Tombs be utilized for this patch. I think that would have been such a win on the side of Blizzard, but yeah, looks like we're just getting more Shadowlands dungeons. But it seems like for the most part, people are pretty happy about the dungeon pool in Season 3. Another feature coming with dungeons is actually a new dungeon waypoint system. So once you defeat a boss, you can actually see where you will resurrect if you do die. Now, this is such a great quality of life feature. This is actually available in all of the Season 3 dungeons, which is cool. So yeah, let's say you kill the first boss. So I'm going to spawn a waypoint. You're going to see that on the map. You're going to see that in the world. And if you die, you know exactly where you're going to resurrect. So a really great quality of life feature there. There are 2 mounts, of course, related to Mythic Plus. You have the Keystone Hero mount being the Azure Void Flyer, and the Keystone Legend mount being the Scarlet Void Flyer. So 2 of these Void Flyer mounts. This is a new model been added in Koresh, and you're going to see a few of these mounts popping up. But the Azure and the Scarlet one will be rewards from getting Keystone Hero and Legend. Finally, let's wrap up with some PvP updates. PvP continues to exist with a new World PvP area in Koresh, as they've advertised it, but really, this is just an area for the World Quest. At least as of the first build of PTR, this is just an area where you're going to do the kind of War Mode World Quest. It's like a little island that they've made off the side of Koresh. Of course, you will have a new PvP season as well, with the Vicious mount being the Vicious Void Creeper, coming in purple for the Alliance and green and orange for the Horde. And the Gladiator mount for Season 3 is the incredible Astral Gladiators Fellbat. So yeah, yet another Fellbat recolor for the Gladiators. So yeah, looking pretty standard for PvP. Nothing else on the side of that, at least majorly, coming in 11.2. And that's kind of it for the most part. There is obviously so much nuance here with 11.2, so no doubt really close to the patch launch, I will be posting a video of like everything coming in 11.2. I'm going to go through all of the smaller details and of course some of the major details as well. But PTR is ever changing, of course, as as you know. I just want to add here about the release date because I know people are going to ask about it. The current rumored release date is August 5th in the NA region and August 6th in the EU, with the season starting on August 12th for NA and August 13th for EU. So is that going to be the case? It does seem very likely at this point. But yeah, there you go, guys. That is all the major features of 11.2. Let me know down below what your thoughts are on this last major patch of The War Within. Are you satisfied with it? Are you happy? Are you excited? Let me know down below. But guys, if you did like this video, please do leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you want to support me outside of YouTube, I'm also on Patreon and I'm on Twitter at MrGMYT, and I have a partner Discord channel as well. And as mentioned, I am streaming on twitch.tv/MrGM. If you want to see me stream World of Warcraft, 11.2 PTR, any sort of WoW, I'm over on twitch.tv/MrGM. And with that, guys, I'll see you next time.